really understand what the woods meant, what they were like.
Yeah.
Does anybody remember what I'm talking about?
I invited everybody. I went to a house in Connecticut, and very nearby, well, actually next door, but it's public property. It's a small copse. It's a woods, but it's only, my goodness, it's really small, but it's very dense. And I wanted them to feel what the woods were like. I've woods on my property where I wrote some of the show. There's a bench in the woods, and the wind chimes, and I go out there, and it was as if a camera were on me. Really acting. I show into the woods, and here I am in the woods. But I wanted to hear what the woods sound like, because on a very quiet day, even with just minimal wind, trees creak, and the woods are alive. Even if nothing is going on at all. Not a lot of rabbits running around, just trees. And they make noise, they speak. So I wanted to, and also, when dusk occurs particularly, it starts to get a little scary. The woods that I took them into is so dense that about 20 yards into the woods, suddenly, it might as well be nighttime. You have no idea. I mean, all you hear are the sounds of the woods. I wanted them to experience that. It probably didn't affect any of them the way it did me, but nevertheless, that's what I wanted. The woods are indeed dark and dangerous.
Chip, how did you handle the woods?
I was scared to death. Traumatized ever since.
Does anybody remember that experience?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you have some signs up back in the winters?
I think I got signs.
That does.
So 27 years on, are there, for all of you, is there any lyric, any line, any moment from the show that, now you think, wow, I really understand it, I really get it, and maybe not in the same way that I did back then?
My favorite line is, worrying will do you never good. Worrying will do you no good. Because I view myself as the living embodiment of that.
I think you think of all the things you've seen, and you wish that you could live in between. It's sort of how I feel tonight.
And you were saying in intermissions about this is a really great ego boost.
Yeah, right. Just keep asking more questions.
Does anybody else, and for anybody else, is there...
Steve, it's not that I've got extra meaning out over the years, but when I think of the show, I think of Joanna saying, "We are moving." 3 separate sentences. We are moving. It must have some meaning.
For me, in No One Is Alone, the lyric, if you just raise a finger, say the slightest word, something's bound to linger, be heard, no one acts alone. Careful. I mean, because you don't know what someone's been through in their life, and you can say something that's going to be so hurtful that reverberates. So I think it's just important to try to be kind, if you can, to
Well, a lot of people think that song it means like we are all strangers and alone. It's an old witch of some sort. That's not what it means. It is about how we all affect each other's lives. And everything you do affects people around you, which affects people around them. And that is something that I deeply believe. And that's what that song is about. It's what essentially what Bernadette was getting at, which not everybody gets because the word alone suggests, oh yes, we are all born alone and we die alone. That's not what it's about. It's about how you're responsible not only for your actions, but for everybody whose lives you touch. We all touch everybody's lives.
I'd like to ask everybody what their biggest laugh line in the show is, but I know that's violating the rule, right, Joanna?
Well, there's a sort of comedy rule that if you say to somebody, hey, I got the biggest laugh tonight, and then you say the line, the comedy gods take it away from you.
But I think, Robert, are you willing to divide the comedy gods and tell
I
us
can't
what-
jinx it, I'm not going to do it again. I was going to be charming, not sincere. I think I have a pretty good instinct about where my laugh lines are in the script, but this one completely took me by surprise. And again, the construction of the scene, the way it sits in the scene, the build-up to it, it created a moment that I got this cannon shot back. The first time I did it, I was utterly taken aback. And it stayed for the whole run. And all you have to do is, again, as Brendan was saying, all you have to do is do it. Do it fully, and all the pieces will fall into place. And you know, be sincere.
That's interesting. Did anybody else, were any of you ever immediately surprised at a line you didn't think we could get left?
Yes. But when I encountered Chip, Chip runs away, the baker runs away to start the mission to lift the group, and I follow him against his instructions, and the first thing I say to him is, you forgot your scarf and it got a big cut.
No, Dad, you can talk to birds. A nice funny when they laugh.
And Ken, is something now that resonates particularly for you that maybe didn't so much back then? Something about the show?
Oh, well, I'm talking about No One Was Alone, which when we all heard the song during rehearsal in San Diego for the first time, and Steve sat down on the piano and played it for us, and we knew there was something very, very special there. So that was thrilling. But as a girl in her mid-20s, I had not become a wife or a mother. I still had both of my parents then at the time, so a lot of the meaning of the show didn't really resonate as deeply with me as it certainly does now. Now that I'm an adult, and I think that's true of the show, and it speaks to everyone at all stages of their lives.
And your father was in the first national tour.
He was. My father, Don, who was a dentist for nearly 30 years, decided to retire, and came to New York and worked at dinner theaters here and there. He played Cinderella's father. In fact, there's a poster hanging on the wall downstairs when the national tour came to the Sagerstrom Center. I think he passed away 4 years ago, but he was so proud to have been part of this show.
This show there were changes all up until you moved into the Martin Beck Theater, is that right? And Chip, is it true that at one point it ended with you kissing Cinderella?
Yes. Maybe I put that in. I don't remember how that happened, but all of a sudden I did realize that Joanna was standing on that patio, just behind me, floating across and going, what the heck is going on? It's only been 5 minutes. What the hell's happening? Yeah, that was confusing. That was confusing.
And I don't know if you all know that for everyone on stage there is a parting gift that was left in the dressing room. There is an Into the Woods fragrance that was left. You all have it. His and hers. It smells a lot better than the Sweeney Todd fragrance. It actually smells great. I want to thank the Sagerstrom Auditorium for it. Okay. And I have to ask Steve and James, what is it like sitting here tonight listening to this wonderful cast sing these songs?
I'm very upset. I want to hear them forever.
Oh, like an acid flashback.
alone. Truly, no one is alone. Sometimes people leave you halfway through the wood. Others may deceive you. You decide what's good. You decide alone. But no one is alone. I wish I knew. Mother isn't here now.
Things right there.
Who knows what she'd say?
Who can say?
Nothing's quite so clear now.
Things like this.
You've lost your way.
You decide, but you are not alone.
Believe me, no one is alone.
No one is alone, believe me.
Truly,
You move just a finger. Say the slightest word. Something's bound to linger. Be heard. No one acts alone. Careful, no one is alone. People make mistakes. Fathers,
mothers,
people make mistakes. Holding to their own. Thinking they're alone.
honor their mistakes.
Wait for the mistakes.
Everybody makes
Honor those terrible mistakes. Witches can be right.
Giants can be good. You
You
decide
decide.
what's right.
You
You
decide.
decide what's good. Just remember.
Just remember, someone is on your side. Someone else is not.
While we're singing our
Our side, maybe we forgot. They are not alone. No one is alone.
hard to see the line now.
Just don't let it go. Things will come up right now. We can make it so. Someone is on your side. No one is
Don't say that, of course you were meant to have children.
But how can I go about being a father with no one to mother my
Just
child?
calm the child.
Yes, calm the child.
Look, tell him the story of how it all happened before their and mother. You'll know what to do.
Alone.
Sometimes people leave you halfway through the wood. Do not let it grieve you. No one leaves for good. You are not alone. No one is alone. Hold him to the light now. Let him see the glow. Things will be all right now. Tell him what you know.
Once upon a time, in a far-off kingdom, there lived a young maiden.
Careful the things you say.
Sad young
Children will sad.
A childless baker
Careful the things you do. Children will see.
with his wife.
And learn
see a glimpse